A Starbucks shakeup coming up, the menu items that are going away.
Everyone knows the Soulard Mardi Gras season culminates with the Bud Light Grand Parade, one of the biggest and best Mardi Gras parades in the country.
And still ahead, where and when you'll be able to catch the Mardi Gras fun happening this weekend. Hi everyone, welcome to Michelle on the Money. We are looking at the big stories impacting your wallet in the bi-state from business to consumer news. But first, we want to begin with exploring some of the major updates that are going to be coming to Medicare this year. We are in a new year and there are big changes to Medicare. So the question, of course, is will those changes help us or will they hurt us? Joining me is Jeff Sachs from Sachs Financial with some insight. Thank you for being here as always.
My pleasure.
Okay, first there are a handful of changes.
There are.
Okay, so ultimately, how do you think that they balance out for most people?
Well,
are they good or bad?
For the most part, they're pretty good.
Okay.
So the first big change is that there is a cap on your out-of-pocket drug expense. It's capped at $2,000. So for those people that have a lot of medication, now you can just count on spending up to $2,000.
Okay.
So that's a big change. The other big change that happened is that if you had a big expense, until recently you had to pay all of that bill up front. They're now allowing you to spread that out over time. So if you had a $2,000 medical expense, instead of paying it up front, if you're on a fixed income, you can now spread that out and budget $166 a month to pay off that bill.
That's a huge difference. And like you said, for people who are on fixed incomes, which would be people who are primarily on Medicare.
It's huge. And another thing, the third really big change that is going to impact a lot of people is, again, with prescription drugs, the donut hole or Part D is going away. Again, because you have that $2,000 limit on out-of-pocket drug expense or prescription expense, there's no longer a donut hole. And for people that had a lot of medication, they were finding themselves partly through the year of having to pay upwards of 25% of their medication. Again, on fixed income, that is a big change that you have to account for in your budgeting.
Yeah.
So that now goes away. Extremely helpful for a lot of people.
Oh, wow. That is great news. But some people will probably have to pay more for their premiums and their deductibles.
That goes up, unfortunately, every year.
Okay.
Lately, it hasn't gone up as much because there's been some negotiation on drug pricing, which has helped keep the cost down a little bit. But it is going up this year. It's going up $10.30 to a total of $185 even for a monthly premium. Now that premium could be higher if you make more money. It's on a graduated scale. But for most people, that's going to be $185, and generally that comes right out of your Social Security.
Okay, and there are other out-of-pocket costs too, right? And so there's a cap on that now?
There is there's a deductible that is going up a little bit.
Okay.
And there may be some other out-of-pocket costs that are eliminated. But we'll see what else gets changed, because there's still a lot of wiggle room in how they actually implement everything.
Sure, sure. Okay, so then oversight. I read somewhere that there will be some changes to oversight as well. Do you think that this will make the plans a little more clear, or is it still just kind of confusing because it's a government situation?
The Medicare supplemental market is a very complex and money-making market for a lot of people, and so they send out a lot of advertising, a lot of stuff in the mail that goes to seniors, and it can be overly confusing. And so the hope is that with this change, there'll be some more oversight on not only new providers of supplemental plans, but all of the mail and marketing that they send out.
Yeah, and I do think that's confusing because I get my dad's mail and I try to help him, and every time I look at it, I say, wait a minute, is this a real official thing? And then it always says, this is an advertisement at the
this
bottom.
Is not a bill. This is not a bill.
Oh,
this is not a, yeah.
It's so confusing.
Yep.
Do you have any last thoughts for people who might be impacted by these changes?
I would say just make sure that you talk to an expert that does Medicare supplemental insurance. It is a very complicated market. Don't try and do it on your own. And the last piece I would say is that if you have not updated your Medicare supplemental insurance, every year there's open enrollment, and a lot of people don't like to go through that, but on average, you're going to save money every year by looking at those plans.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank
My
you for your
pleasure.
time, and also you have such great wisdom and advice, so thank
you.
you. If you would like to learn more, you can go to ksdk.com and we will link you to Sachs Financial. And right now, 2 major hospitals and an aerospace pioneers foundation are investing $15 million into St. Louis small businesses. Our Tracy Henson met with the unlikely group at a St. Louis shop that's growing thanks to investors dedicated to the city.
I just always like to make sauce. And
This is Freddie, co-owner of Freddie Lee's Specialty Sauces.
she's the boss. Yeah, she's the boss lady.
And Freddie's wife, both of them lifetime St. Louis City residents.
That's why our sauce called ghetto sauce.
I'm west side, he's north side.
Small businesses need inventory and sometimes heavy equipment, and that just doesn't buy itself. That's where the credit union comes in.
Typically in St. Louis, for areas of color, people of color, it's harder to get business loans, consumer loan, mortgages than it is for our white counterparts.
Before meeting Alex Fenoy at St. Louis Community Credit Union, Freddie and Deborah experienced that firsthand.
They just they rejected us. They turned us down.
But St. Louis Community Credit Union didn't.
At our credit union, again, everybody belongs, but we target our resources in the areas that have been left behind.
And they're getting help from organizations that are far away from ever being left behind. A nonprofit, the James S. McDonald Foundation, and 2 hospital groups, BJC and SSM.
It can't just all be about healthcare delivery. We have to go upstream to what causes poor health to begin with, and that is really nested in economic opportunity.
Opportunity our area's aerospace industry has had and is now sharing with St. Louis.
The commitment to St. Louis has always been there for the McDonald family, but the James S. McDonald Foundation has recently pivoted to focusing entirely on St. Louis.
Tracy Henson, 5 on your side.
How about that? An update now on the future of the Millennium Hotel. According to our partners at the St. Louis Business Journal, the city has now approved $670 million redevelopment plan from Cordish. Take a look. Here's a look at the project, which will include residential, office, commercial, cultural, and public spaces. The nonprofit Gateway Arch Park Foundation is under contract to buy the Millennium Hotel. Right now, the TGI Fridays in South County is closed for good. The restaurant just off Lindbergh Boulevard closed down earlier this week on Monday. The restaurant posted this message on its Facebook page announcing its closure, but also confirming that the St. Charles location will stay open for now. TGI Fridays filed for bankruptcy back in November. It has shut down dozens of locations nationwide. We also want to bring you more on another restaurant that is also leaving the St. Louis area. Wave Taco in downtown announced on social media that it will not reopen this season. The Post claims the main reason is safety. Owners say drive-by shootings, police chases, drug overdoses, and auto break-ins have made the area unsafe. The Sand Volleyball League held at Wave Taco will also move to a location in Columbia, Illinois. A popular craft store will also be closing all of its stores. The chain filed for bankruptcy twice over the last year. It will now close all of its more than 800 locations. We're talking about Joann Fabrics here. It will end a run of more than 80 years in business. So the local stores are on your screen there. Maplewood, Lindbergh Boulevard, Fairview Heights, Baldwin, St. Peters, and Crystal City. As you know, I'm sure you know, egg prices are on the up and up right now, and so here are some budget-friendly alternatives to help you out in the kitchen. Take a look. Mashed banana or soaked flax or chia seeds can really bind your pancakes like an egg would. You can also mix oil and water and baking soda together. The liquid that canned chickpeas are stored in can keep meringues light and fluffy. And then tofu is a great way to pack in some protein. Now on to an update in the Rittner School District. It now has access to grant money for electric school buses. The district received more than $9 million from the EPA as part of its Clean School Bus program, but the funding had been uncertain because of President Trump's order to freeze federal funding. So the federal account holding the grant has finally made it available so the district's 24 diesel buses can be replaced with EV buses.
No oil changes. Essentially just brakes and tires are the only maintenance that you would have to do regularly on these things. And then the cost of electricity right now anyway, is way less than the cost of diesel. Plus the time and energy that you have to put into actually filling the diesel buses.
And we should mention this is the largest EPA Clean School Bus Grant given to a school district in the St. Louis area, and district officials say the move will save more than $3 million. All right, let's get to major changes coming to Starbucks. It is laying off 1,100 corporate employees worldwide. In a letter to employees, the company's new CEO says he wants to streamline operations. The Seattle-based coffee chain is also eliminating several hundred open and unfilled positions. Baristas in Starbucks stores will not be impacted, though. And now even more of a shakeup because of this and its menu items. We know that a dozen less popular beverages are set to be retired from Starbucks menus next week. And here's a look at the drinks here. The drinks include most Frappuccinos, the white hot chocolate, you can see the Royal English breakfast latte, and then iced matcha lemonade and honey almond milk flat white. Now, some of these drinks face retirement, right? But Starbucks has plans to bring back beloved lavender beverages. So there's that. A new piece of good news for your wallet if you're lactose intolerant or maybe you just don't like dairy. Very soon it will not cost you extra to get plant-based milk in your Dunkin' coffee. The coffee company is dropping its non-dairy surcharge starting March 5th. And guess what? Lil Wayne is going to be performing at the Enterprise Center. He's going to be joined alongside special guests, the Hot Boys. The concert is slated for 8 p.m. tonight, and tickets for the concert are still on sale. But a warning, it is going to be a little pricey. The cheapest ones that we found are going for about $109. Also, we want to bring you the very latest on some of the big Mardi Gras happenings taking place this weekend. So let's begin with an event that's taking place in just hours from now. Later tonight, the mayor's Mardi Gras Ball will be getting underway, and that's happening at the Anheuser-Busch Beer Garden from 7 o'clock to midnight. The event will feature a cabaret-style dinner starting at 7:30. There's also going to be entertainment from musicians like the Red and Black Brass Band, Dirty Mugs, also Murphy Lee. How about that? If you are looking to attend tonight's event, general admission will be on the pricier end, going for about $175. But if you're planning on bringing a large party, you can purchase a Queen's Round Table of 10 for a $350 fee. And tomorrow, one of the biggest Mardi Gras events in St. Louis is going down. It's the annual Bud Light Grand Parade. It's slated to kick off at 11 a.m. in the Soulard neighborhood. Our team at 5 on Your Side sat down with one of the event organizers who tell us all about what's in store for this year's parade.
Everyone knows the Soulard Mardi Gras season culminates with the Bud Light Grand Parade, one of the biggest and best Mardi Gras parades in the country. Like most years, we're going to kick off down at Busch Stadium, travel down 7th Street and Broadway, and end at the Budweiser Brewery. This year's theme is cooking up a celebration, and we know that the neighborhood is known for its amazing bars and restaurants, and Mardi Gras is all about the amazing flavors.
Oh my gosh, yes, of course. And the best part about the parade, it is free for all of those who want to attend. And then next week, guess what? Lent begins, which means the first fish fries will be returning during the second weekend of March. And the St. Louis Brewery is kicking off the season just a little bit early for everybody. Rockwell Beer Company's Fish Fry Light Lager hits store shelves this Friday. Rockwell says there's nothing more St. Louis than a good fish fry washed down with a great tasting light lager beer during Lent. And the can's cute too. Okay, that's going to do it for us. Thanks for watching Michelle on the Money. For more money stories like these, be sure to join me every day on Today in St. Louis starting at 5 a.m. In the meantime, we're going to see you again next weekend right here on the 5+ app.